who's the best patent attorney for you? Well, I've identified 5 factors that you probably want to consider when hiring a patent attorney. But before I get to those, you're probably wondering who I am and about us. So I'm Stephen Thrasher, and we're Thrasher Associates. And I help game changers, inventors and entrepreneurs, probably a lot like you, turn your ideas into assets that you can use to create revenue, get funding, and gain influence so you can bring your ideas to the world and change it. So what are these 5 factors that you should consider before hiring a patent attorney? First is technical alignment. This just means that you want to make sure that the idea that you have, if it's related to some particular technological area, that the patent attorney that you work with has worked in that area before and filed patent applications in that area before. So for example, if your idea is related to software, you want to make sure that your patent attorney has experience with filing software patent applications. So first is technical alignment. The second factor is experience. Just like you wouldn't take your car to a mechanic who's never worked on a car like yours before, you want to make sure that the patent attorney you go to has filed for patent applications in your area before. Far too often today, with some of these advertise on TV companies, they'll take your patent application and they'll sometimes even send it overseas. I don't suggest going that route, of course. You want to make sure that you're able to communicate with your patent attorney and that they have the experience you need to have confidence that your information will be protected competently. So experience is the second factor. The third factor is speed and urgency. Because of the American Invents Act, the first to file a patent application gets the patent today. So if you submit your information to your patent attorney, but they wait weeks or months to file the patent application, all of a sudden somebody can come in while your application is sitting on their desk, they file the application in the patent office, and they get the patent. So there needs to be a sense of speed and urgency on the part of your patent attorney, and that's the third factor. The fourth factor is budget. I'm an inventor, and I know how tempting it is to want to file a patent application on every aspect of your invention. However, if you do that, it can be a road to financial ruin because you can run up a 6-figure, yes, over $100,000 expenditure in a hurry if you do this the wrong way. However, if you work with your patent attorney and treat them like your chief intellectual property officer, let them work with you to create a budget to capture as much intellectual property as possible, and you will be amazed at how much you can get protected at a fraction of the cost. The fifth factor to consider when hiring a patent attorney are your long-term goals. Make sure that your patent attorney knows whether you intend to license your product, whether you want to raise money, whether you intend to create a product and sell it through a channel or start a business. And of course, there are so many other ways to use a patent as well. But by making sure that he or she knows what your long-term goals are, they can help you not merely with preparing a better patent application, but also with a larger overarching strategy of protecting your ideas. So again, the 5 factors to consider when hiring a patent attorney are technical alignment, experience, speed and urgency, your budget, and fifth, your long-term goals. So thank you for watching this video. Again, I'm Stephen Thrasher, and I invite you to download the free report that comes along with this video by clicking on the box that's above, below, wherever it appears on your device. And I do hope you'll consider contacting us.